What up, everybody? This is your Cosmic Homegirl, and I'm doing a weekly forecast for all signs, for everybody, for the week starting with September 27th, 2020, ending with October 6th of 2020. So the very last week of September, very first week of October, here we go. The last quarter of the year, or the last couple months of the year. Last parts of 2020, you guys. Oh my goodness, what a freaking ride it's been, right? Speaking of, if you guys want to know what's going on for your sign, for your sun, moon, or rising sign in the year of 2021, just stay posted to my website, which is indigomoonastrology.com, and on the horoscopes page. Pretty soon, I'm going to have 2021 horoscopes for everybody out and available for purchase and download. Okay, so if you want to know, are we going to get a little bit of a break in 2021, or is the craziness going to continue? Then stay tuned, stay posted for those. But for now, I have October 2020 horoscopes now available on my website on the horoscopes page. If you go to my website, you go to horoscopes over here, and here they are. So if you want to know what's cracking in October 2020 for your sign, what is Mars retrograde doing? What is Mercury retrograde doing? This Mercury retrograde is actually a kind of a repeat of 2019, and also some repeated stuff from 2018 is coming up too. So if you want to know what that means for you based on your sign, then definitely go to my website and check it out. They're available now for purchase. Okay, so now let's get to this week's forecast. What's cracking? Oh wait, one last thing. Don't forget, you guys can still purchase my Saturn and Aquarius speech, presentation, talk that I did, class, if you will, on NADIYA SHAH's website. Okay, so I will also leave the link to that. It was live on September 2nd, but it's still posted up for you guys to get the information. It was a really dope talk that I did. I did a lot of research on history and where Saturn and Aquarius was previously, the last few times in this last century, and what that did for humanity, and just a lot of dope stuff. So go check it out as well. Okay, so now let's get to this week's horoscope. What's cracking energetically? What's the cosmic weather like? So starting with the 27th. Now, it's probably going to be pretty late by the time I get this out, so I'm not going to dive too deep into the 27th, but we do have Mercury entering Scorpio. Okay, and I did talk about this in more detail in the September overview video about Mercury and Scorpio, because Mercury is going to go retrograde in this sign, and I do talk about it in October. Also, I'll have an October video up in the next few days for the general horoscope for everybody for October, and I'll talk about Mercury retrograde there too. Excuse me. So Mercury going into Scorpio, first of all, what does it mean? Mercury is how we communicate, it's how we talk. It is our thought processes, it's logic and data and being rational. It is our communication, whether that's like just talking to somebody verbally, or if it is through text messaging, DMs, emails, all of that stuff. That's all Mercury. So when it's in Scorpio, we tend to be a little bit more private when Mercury's in Scorpio. Mercury in Libra is like anything and everything goes. All information is a free for all for everyone. Everybody's spilling the tea everywhere about everyone. People could play devil's advocate and be like talking about one person to someone else, and then talk about that person to the person that you were talking to, like back and forth, like, oh yeah, we're cool. Yeah, I don't really dig so and so very much either. And then you go talk to so and so, and you're like, oh yeah, we're cool, but I don't really dig that other person. Like, people can tend to do that when Mercury's in Libra, unfortunately. But not everybody does that. But still, people like to discuss others because Mercury is discussion, and Libra is the sign of other people. So we tend to like discuss people, discuss relationships, people and their relationships when we have Mercury in Libra. And yeah, people can overshare a little bit sometimes. I find Libra energy, Mercury in Libra especially, can talk on and on and on and freaking on, and just like add all these details into stories that like are unnecessary. And I have Mercury in the 7th house, so that's kind of like Mercury in Libra. I can do that at times, so I totally get it. But yeah, so when we have Mercury in Scorpio, the vibe switches up a little bit with communication. Like I said, it's a little more private. It's like it's about secrets and taboo and topics that people find to be more on the darker side of life, talking about like the occult and like murder and mystery and stuff like that. Scorpio rules psychology and understanding people really at the depths, you know what I'm saying, like really diving into people's psyche and their mind, like the back of their mind, what's back there, like hidden amongst the cobwebs and the bats and the spiders, like what's hidden beneath the surface, like that's all Scorpio. So that's kind of where our minds are going and what we're talking about. Scorpio, yeah, like I said, it rules the darker side of life, so people can be just more interested in things like that, maybe interested in like watching movies or TV shows that are a little more on the dark side or about mystery, solving crimes or crime stuff, and serial killers. I always talk about serial killers and Scorpios, but that's because like I know a lot of Scorpio people in real life, people with Scorpio energy, 8th house energy, and I have a Scorpio rising sign, so like that's our shit. I mean, it's just true. It's just real life. So anyhow, Mercury in Scorpio. Now Mercury will be here in Scorpio moving forward only until mid-October. Mercury is going to go retrograde in Scorpio on the 13th of October at 11 degrees. And it's actually going to go back into Libra, like the later degrees of Libra, like from here, like 25 degrees of Libra. So Mercury has already been around that 25 degrees of Libra. Where's Mercury at? Oh, yeah. Since, let's see, where's he at? So whatever was cracking, like, around like the 23rd, the 23rd of September on up until the 13th of October. When Mercury goes retrograde, whatever was going on during that time could be up for review and revise, like looked at from a different perspective. And as I mentioned before, Mercury was retrograde in Scorpio last year in 2019. And in 2018, Venus was retrograde in Scorpio around the same time at the same motherfucking degree, okay? At about 10, almost 11 degrees of Scorpio, and then went back retrograde to 25 degrees of Libra, and then moved forward again. So 2018 repeats and 2019 repeats can possibly be happening for some of us. Okay, all I gotta say is, yo, that is so interesting, and I'm like sitting here with my invisible popcorn. I am the googly eye emoji and the popcorn emoji. Okay, like just waiting, like what's the tea? What's going on? So yeah, that's Mercury in Scorpio. So Mercury enters Scorpio on September 27th. Okay, so on the 28th, what's cracking? Well, we do have the moon moving into Pisces. So the moon was in Aquarius for a few days. It was all about alien things or whatever, being a hipster and all that good Aquarian stuff. But now the moon is in Pisces for a couple days until the 30th. And so the vibe switches up when it comes to our mood, our emotions, how we're processing our emotions. So when the moon is in Pisces, we're more in tune with music. We may talk more about like spirituality, and especially because we have Mercury in Scorpio also. So there could be like a lot of spiritual stuff, synchronicities, or, talking about that stuff, experiencing some stuff like that more, during that time. Pisces, it does rule like movies and fantasy and magic and mermaids and unicorns, stuff like that. Rules music. Did I say music already? Music and what else? Like art, different arts and stuff. So we're just more in touch with those things in the moons of Pisces. Also, Pisces energy is very, it has a lot of empathy for other living beings. So that is humans and also animals too. So, when the moon's in Pisces, that's how we feel. We could be a lot more sensitive, like super mega uber freaking sensitive when the moon's in Pisces. And more receptive towards other people and like their emotions and wanting to like fix people, heal people, Oh, moon in Pisces days. It could be a little emotionally draining and exhausting, I'm not going to lie, especially once the moon gets close to Neptune, which is in the next couple of days. When the moon is in a conjunction with Neptune, like I always say, Neptune, it looks like a little antenna, right? So imagine this antenna is like plugged into the moon. The moon rules emotions, and this antenna is like, channeling emotions and feelings and thoughts and stuff from other people, from other beings, from other realms, even like the angelic realm, the spiritual realm. So you do receive messages and through dreams and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, that's the moon in Pisces. So it could be like, oh my God, like crying over like, trying to save the world. But also some people, they just notice like some more subtle things. For example, just listening to music more or being more sleepy, more tired, harder to focus on practical things. Like if you work and your work is like super practical or like corporate-y or something, moon and Pisces days, you may be like daydreaming and spacing out, or yeah, it's just harder to focus on those days. Okay, so also on the 28th, this is when Venus is in a trine aspect to Mars, honey. Oh, yes. All right, what does this mean? So Venus is feminine energy, Mars is masculine energy. So those two, yo, that energy is fire. Literally, these are in fire signs. And even though Mars is retrograde and all of that stuff, I will just tell you guys, this is a fire transit. If you are either masculine energy dominant or feminine energy dominant, whoever is your counterpart, okay, you could be getting along a little better with them. The energy between yourself and that person could be just an easy flow. And yes, the fire is all there. That's all I'm gonna say about that. So yeah, Venus and Mars in a trine aspect to each other, it does mean that the masculine and feminine energies are getting along. That can mean like actual people, or this could be just an inner thing between you, like the masculine side of you and the feminine side of you. Doesn't matter your gender or identification or any of that stuff. This is, we all possess levels of feminine and masculine energy. So within yourself, you could be getting along better with yourself, like practicing self-care, doing face masks and all that, but you still like work out, and build muscle. Like that's just a one example that I have of that. But yeah, femme and masculine energy getting along. Yes. Okay. So Venus and Mars making a trine aspect on September 28th. Also on the 28th, this is when Saturn starts moving direct in Capricorn. Old man Saturn in stingy old Capricorn. I bet you some Capricorns probably going to start getting pissed off at me for saying that, but those of you who know me know it's all love. I have something to clown on about each and every sign. All right. So anyway, Saturn is at home in the sign of Capricorn. Saturn rules Capricorn, gives Capricorn its characteristics. So now he's going to be moving forward, finishing up his run through Cappy, and not going to be back for another 28 years or so, 28 to 30 years. Thank goodness. Saturn and Cap has been super rough, okay, because Saturn and Capricorn both rule police and presidents and government and military. And doesn't this all sound familiar? Haven't we had a bunch of wild shit popping this year alone in 2020, which is not even over yet, that has to do with all of those establishments, all of those types of people, all of those positions of power and authority? They've all like had to come crashing down in some way, been challenged or challenged other people. there's so much I could say about Saturn and Capricorn, but I don't want to ramble on too much. Like I said, it's Libra season. We can tend to do that. Okay. But Saturn moving forward in Capricorn, Saturn is waking up now. Saturn is like, I say, you know, I was going to say Big Daddy Saturn. No, 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 not Big Daddy Saturn. uh Papa Saturn, whatever. Like he is like a very paternal energy, right? But the authoritarian, disciplinarian, paternal energy is Saturn. But the authoritarian, disciplinarian type of Pops energy is what Saturn represents. And when Saturn was retrograde, it was like he said before he went retrograde, he gave all of his children, which is all of us here on Earth, assignments to do. He taught us a bunch of lessons. He pointed his finger in our face, told us what to do, what not to do when he was direct last time. And then when he went retrograde, he's like, okay, I'm gonna go away for a little bit and I'm gonna leave you Churins alone to do exactly what I instructed you to do. And when I come back, I'm gonna check and make sure that you did. So now he's back, now he's awake, now he's gonna be checking everybody. He's gonna be applying some disciplinary actions if necessary, if anybody was half stepping or slacking. Okay, so wherever Capricorn is in your chart, whatever house it rules, whatever part of your life that is, that's where you can be experiencing that once Saturn moves direct. So yeah, pretty interesting. So Saturn will be direct in Capricorn throughout the rest of the year, rest of 2020, except at the very end in December, Saturn moves into Aquarius. So that's in December. That is December 16th or 17th if you're more east in the world and in the US, okay? So that means we have we have 3 more months of Saturn moving direct in Capricorn. So he is cleaning up, he's cleaning up, he's kicking asses and taking names and asking questions later and all of that good stuff, making sure we're doing right. Okay, so moving along to the 29th, what do we have cracking? On this day, 29th into the 30th is when we have the moon in a conjunction with Neptune in Pisces, and that's when we could be super spacey, super sleepy, super daydreamer, romantic, watching movies, watching TV, but mostly watching, like movie, TV shows that are like outside of reality based, And also we can be listening to music a lot more. We could be daydreaming. Like I said, we could be like very creative, very artistic, very poetic in nature. Whether you write poetry or not, like you could be, really poetic and stuff. So yeah, but also another thing this happening on the 29th is Mars is in a square aspect to, where's Mars at? Mars is in a square aspect to Saturn. Mars is retrograde. So Saturn is now moving direct and Mars is squaring off with him. So both of these planets, and they are both in their home signs too. Mars rules Aries, Saturn rules Cappy. Now Mars is a soldier, right? Mars is a soldier. Mars is given orders by Saturn and Capricorn, and then Mars carries out the orders. So both of these signs and planets are associated with the military. So, and also Saturn is like the government and it's drill sergeants, look at the hat. Like he's like wearing a hat that sometimes you see on TV, like drill sergeants wear. That's what I think of when I see this symbol for Saturn. But yeah, he's like giving orders to, for Mars to carry out actions. So when they're squaring off, it's like Mars is challenging Saturn. Mars in Aries wants to be super hella independent and just like march and do whatever they want to do and not be disturbed or not be bothered by anybody, not be told what to do. And then Saturn and Capricorn loves to tell people what to do and boss them around and stuff. But Mars in Aries isn't having that, right? So there can be some real life situations to where this actually happens. One person plays a role of Mars, the other person plays a role of Saturn. So this could be resisting authority in some sort of way. This can be also an internal battle. All of the transits can be like, when there's aspects between two different planets, they can be a conversation that you're having with your own self, you know, internally. So this could be like you feel like you just want to like jump and fly and do something impulsive. You just want to just do it, right? Just do it. And then there's another part of you that's like the other little voice, that there's the devil and the angel, you know. Even though I would not associate Cap or or Aries with angels at all. Both of these motherfuckers could be the devil, okay? Just being honest. Capricorn is even the devil card in tarot, so hello. But I say that to say that there could be, you know, one side of you that's like, no, we must be disciplined, we must hold ourselves back, we must not be impulsive, we must be rational, yada yada yada. And then there's a side of you that's like, woo, you know, wants to be like the dumbass like frat boy that wants to smash a beer can over his head just to be stupid and then knock his head into a wall and laugh about it. That's, you know what I'm saying? And then there's the authoritarian that's folding their arms and scowling like, no, that's not what we do around here, and we must get up early and we have responsibility, you know. So maybe you have like a battle with yourself whether or not to be partying and be ratchet and do hood rat things with your friends, or should you be responsible and work and do whatever other chores or anything that you have to do in your life to just keep your life in order. So it could go either way. So yeah, that's Mars square Saturn. And this is actually popping the whole week, but it is super duper strong and exact on September 29th. All right, so on the 30th, moving along to the 30th, we have the moon moving into Aries. If you guys are on like a European time or something, this could be counted actually as, it could be actually counted as the 1st of October. So yeah, but on the 30th over here where I'm at, this is when the moon moves into Aries. The moon is going to stay in Aries until the 3rd. And this is where we actually have the full moon this month, in October. I mean, next month in October. Or this month, depends on when you're listening. Hello. So we have the moon moving into Aries for a few days. The vibe switches up. We wake up, right? We're sleepy, we're dreamy, we're spiritual, we're just floating in la la land somewhere. When the moon's in Pisces, then when the moon's in Aries, it's like, yo, we gotta get up, we gotta do this, we gotta do that, we gotta march along, we gotta be active physically, we gotta do this, that, you know. So that's how the vibe is. People could be more quicker to anger and do things out of impulse when the moon's in Aries. You know what I noticed? I'm sure I probably mentioned this before. People tend to drive faster and more stupider when the moon's in Aries. And if they have one of those loud cars and make all that damn noise unnecessarily, they sound like giant ugly bugs or something, that's when when the moon's in Aries, you'll hear those cars and see them buzzing down the road, and you're like, yeah, you're cool, buddy, all right, or whatever. Why do you gotta drive fast like that? So stupid. So people will tend to do that when the moon's in Aries. I notice it every freaking month. Also, what else with the moon in Aries? Good lunar phases for just getting things done, just jumping up and just doing things that need to be done, not hesitating, not holding back, not procrastinating, just getting your shit handled, you know. And also moon and Aries days are good for physical activities of any kind. Working out, especially. Aries energy is all about that workout life, that gym rat life. So it can encourage you to get up off your ass and like move and do something. Moon and Aries days are good for leadership. If you are in any type of leadership role or position, whether it's in your personal life or your career or anything like that, Moon and Aries days are ones where you take charge. You want to be early, you want to be first, you want to be the winner, and all of that. People can be super mad, like competitive when the moon's in Aries also. So just be aware of that. When the moon steps into Aries, right away she comes into contact with Chiron, which is nicknamed the wounded healer. This is where we have like a soft spot, you know, like emotionally and in our lives and sometimes physically. And when the moon crosses Chiron every month, that stuff could be activated, you know. But I'll get more into that in a second, because the full moon, which is on October 1st, is when the sun and moon are both in the sign of, um, or they are in opposite signs, directly opposite of one another. Okay, so we have the moon in Aries and we have the sun in Libra. So they're opposing each other. And the lunar part of the full moon is in a conjunction with Chiron. Yes. So what does this mean? This full moon is definitely about healing some past stuff or healing some current stuff. It can be very emotionally driven. Like full moon in Aries could be really one where somebody is fed up with something or someone, and it can be emotionally explosive. I can think back to 2 years ago when the full moon was in Aries, and the things that were going on during that time. The moon, it rules like your home life too. And even if you don't have like your fourth house of home and family or your own moon sign in the sign of Aries, you know what I'm saying? Like a full moon in that sign, a full moon, the moon in any sign can like have you, can determine like, you know, some things going on at home or in your personal life or emotionally. So yeah, like I remember just like it was yesterday, um, there was a full moon in Aries. There was so much going. It was like stuff was going on with where I was living at, and I was still in a relationship. But then with that full moon in Aries, that relationship was done. Um, that's when it was like, you know, I can't take the shit anymore. Like fed up, a fed up type of an energy. And you know, moon in Aries energy doesn't give a man. So you know what I'm saying? But it doesn't mean a breakup for everybody. I just want to give that example. But the moon is with Chiron, so it could be about some pain that you've experienced and, you know, trying to get it all out so that you can heal from it. You know what I'm saying? And we have the moon and the sun opposing each other. So this could be about like, how should you go about this? It makes me think of Snoop, like a Snoop Dogg, on his Doggy Style album, when there was a little skit and he was like, we can handle this like some gentlemen, or we can get into some gangster shit. Like that's what this full moon reminds me of, because Libra is like handling things like a gentleman, you know, or we can get into some gangster shit, which is Aries all day. Okay, so you can have a situation that comes up that's like, okay, should I be diplomatic and, you know, talk things out and try to see the other side of, you know, the other person, or should I just pop off on a ninja? Okay, what should I do? So that's what this full moon makes me think of. But yeah, there can be a very heated decision that you have to make, or that someone else has to make that's around you or whatever. Sorry. Oh my gosh, it's been a long day. So pardon me for yawning. But regardless, you know, there are some things that need to get out, need to be maybe said or done. And then, you know, there could be some healing afterwards. Just know that moon and Aries, like Aries energy, could be real super pissed off 1 second, and then the next second they're like, okay, I'm over it. La di da. Do you want anything to eat? And you're like, who are you, crazy person? Like, what? What just happened? You were just a fire breathing dragon, like burning me like a second ago, and now you're fine. What the hell? So people can have some emotional impulses like that under this full moon. Yes, indeed. Okay, so that's on October 1st, and I will go through, you know, the full moon in some more details when I get to the October video. Okay, and now we have on the 2nd, this is when Venus moves into Virgo. You better work, Miss Venus. However, you better work was more on the sassy, fierce, like fashionable side when she was in Leo, but now she's in Virgo, the sign that rules the job. So you better work means something a little different for the rest of the month with Venus in Virgo. Okay, Venus is in Virgo from the 2nd until the 27th of October. So she's a little more conservative when she's in Virgo. She's not strutting in high heels, rocking the animal print with the cat eye, the big hair, the blonde hair or light colored hair, and the red lipstick anymore. Now she took all that damn makeup off. She let her hair down. She parted it in the middle. She put her little glasses on. Okay. And she put like some little button up shirt, some work attire. And she is doing, practical things. If people need help, she's right there. She might complain and bitch about it a little bit, but she'll be there to do it for you. And she's cleaning the house, man. She's cleaning up. She wants to. Venus beautifies things, and Virgo, yes, is a sign of cleanliness. So, that's how she is. Venus and Virgo, when it comes to like love and relationships, which Venus rules, she wants to be like a little doctor, a little nurse. She wants to heal you in some sort of way. She tends to attract broken people. So she tends to sometimes be that way on purpose, like see people as a project. She sees their potential. She's like, I can work on them and I can fix them. So that's how she can act sometimes. But Venus and Virgo, she will not be the one to demand flowers, candy, roses, and big extravagant displays of love and affection. No, no, no. She's more subtle and quiet. She gets embarrassed about stuff like that. And also, she herself, she's not the one. She's not the one to go shopping for flashy things for another person if she's in love. No, she will buy you your if you ran out of aftershave, or you ran out of shampoo or something, you might just, pop up in your restroom and bam, there's a new one. And she's like, oh yeah, by the way, I was at the store getting stuff and I just picked this up for you, And you're like, oh my God, Virgo, you're so dope. And she's like, it's nothing. I mean, I was already there, so fuck it, whatever. That's how she acts in love. That's how she gives displays of affection and romance. So Venus in Virgo, she also loves the little animals of the world too. So she's a pet lover. So people be loving on their pets a little extra during this transit. Yeah, she could be a little stingy with herself. She will try to act like she's a nun or whatever, but she could be an undercover hoe, okay? And I know some Virgos would be like, correction, I am not like that. Look, we ain't talking about you. We're talking about the general energy of Venus and Virgo. You may have some other placements in your chart that make you a little different, okay? So just get the stick out of your booty and, listen from a different type of perspective, okay? So anyway, but that's Venus and Virgo. And then on the 3rd, we end the week with the moon going into Taurus. Yes. So the vibe switches up from Aries, which is like rah, rah, makes me think of rappers that they call rah rah rappers. The ones that literally they sound like rah rah, like DMX. Oh my God, I'm like, where is his Aries energy at, or his Mars? I'm thinking maybe DMX is a Scorpio rising with Mars in the first house with a rough voice, because fiery people who either they have their Mercury in a fire sign, or they have like just a very strong Mars placement or something like that. Fire is involved, okay, very heavy in their chart, especially with speech. Their voices sound burnt, like sounds like their throat is burnt, so they tend to have like a raspier voice, or some of them motherfuckers be yelling like DMX. Or people with Mercury and Aries. Oh my God, you know who has Mercury and Aries? On the Wendy Williams show, her assistant or whatever she is, Suzanne. Oh my God, she like I before I even looked up that woman's chart, I knew she had Mercury and Aries. I could just hear it. And you hear how her, if you guys know who I'm talking about, her voice sounds like her throat is burnt. And she's loud, So that's why I said raw Aries energy, and then into smooth Taurus, which the voice is more like smooth jazz, like those DJs on the jazz radio stations and stuff. That's the vibe when the moon is in Taurus. Talking much more slower, taking your time with things, stuff like that. So moon in Taurus from the 3rd until I think the 5th, through the 5th of October. So on those days, things are a lot more chill. You know what I'm saying? Like people are just chilling. They just want to watch TV, watch videos, watch stuff on their phone or whatever, have their little chocolates, have their little snacks and have like a comfortable blankie, and and that's life. That's your world right there. You don't want anything outside of that. It could be like more lazy time, just super chill. Moon and Taurus days. Those are good days. Oh my gosh. But let me just give you guys a tip. If you're trying to stick to a budget or a list when you go grocery shopping, do not go to the grocery store when the moon's in Taurus. Okay? Alert. Do not. Because Taurus rules food and the things that we like to buy. Okay, and then you can go overboard when the moon's in Taurus and just grab things like, oh, I want this. Oh, this sounds good. Oh, this looks good. And then you're like, oh man, well, F that list. So but if you have the means to go outside of a budget or a list, girl or boy, just live it up. Okay, get your little shop on. When the moon's in Taurus, it doesn't even have to be groceries. Like any type of shopping, you look for bargains and deals, and you just want everything, because Taurus energy is about consumerism, and so you're like the ultimate consumer when there's a transit through that sign, especially the moon. And you can do a lot of emotional spending and emotional eating when the moon's in Taurus, so just be aware of that too. That's why I'm like, yo, like I really track the moon, because having a Taurus stellium personally, yeah, there's days I like where maybe I didn't look at where the moon was at, and I'm at the store and I'm way outside of my list and my budget, and I'm like, wait, hold up, where's the moon at? Why do I want to buy all this chocolate? Why do I want to buy all of these things that smell good when I already have like tons of candles already? I'm buying more. Like, maybe, yeah, that I see where the moon is at, and I'm like, okay, I'm being stupid. Maybe I need to just put some stuff back and not let the moon get the best of me. So yeah, those are moon and Taurus days. But good days for being like super chill, super cuddly, or snuggly, or yeah, they're just really relaxed days. At first though, when the moon goes into Taurus, she encounters Uranus in Taurus, which I always tell you guys, he's the bringer of lightning bolts, and he will bring the drama that's like sudden, that pops off out of nowhere, that's unexpected, out of the blue. Okay, so when the moon is with Uranus also is like a very nervous energy, because imagine the moon, this poor little moon, she wants to chill and she keeps getting zapped with the electricity, bzz, 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 or lightning bolts, psh, psh, and she's like, ah. So your emotions can be a little erratic the first like day or so of the moon being in Taurus. Okay, you want to relax and chill, you want your comfort and your stability, but there's something that's disrupting that with Uranus and Taurus. So that's just something to be aware of. But other than that, once she gets past that pesky little bugger of the planet Uranus, she's coasting, she's chilling. Once she gets to I would say like probably like 21 degrees, about 20, yeah, like 19, no, hold up, 8 degrees. Yo, I can't do math right now. Hold up. 9 plus 8 is 7. Okay. So like once she's like around 17 degrees and above of Taurus, she's coasting, she's chilling. She's at home. She's comfy. Okay? She's not bothered, honey. All right, all of those things. Okay, so pretty much that's it. Then we have the moon in Taurus. Wait, I'm supposed to be covering through the 4th. What am I doing? Yo, I have some 12th house transits right now, and I'm telling you guys, it's like super spacey energy that just, oh my God, it's like I'm on another planet. I think I'm on Neptune right now. I wrote down the 6th. I meant the 4th, okay? Because I only covered through Sundays. Anyway, moon in Taurus. Moon is in Taurus until the 5th, okay? So I'm just gonna stop right there, and maybe I need to take my ass to bed, y'all, because so anyway, thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to peep all the stuff I talked about at the beginning. My Synchronicity University Saturn Aquarius speech. Also, oh my God, I forgot to mention, I also have something I did with the ASTROGEEKS. I will post a link to that, to where we went through the people that are running for president, and we looked at their natal charts and we looked at their transits coming up to see who has a more likely chance to get elected as the next president. So we did that. Okay, we did this years ago when Donald Trump was elected, and the majority of us, we saw Donald Trump as winning, and he surely did. So astrology is all the way real. Anybody who says it's not can really like just take something up the ass, okay? Because it's way too real. So I will find the link to that and also share that with you guys on here and or on Instagrams. Okay, so if you're interested in that, because the elections are coming up real soon. All right, so anyway, I hope you guys have a good week. Don't forget to check out your October horoscopes on my website and stay posted for the 2021 horoscopes coming soon. And I will see you guys in my next videos. All right, peace.